much, Ravella. Really appreciate the welcome and you being on with us today. I am so excited, and I have the privilege of presenting our first speaker for today, Dr. Jason Branch. Dr. Branch is a licensed professional counselor for the states of Alabama, Georgia, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Dr. Branch has more than 15 years of experience in the mental health and counseling profession. Dr. Branch has worked in community agencies and mental health centers, city government, and substance use treatment facilities. Dr. Branch has maintained a clinical private practice since 2010 that focuses on adults, couples, and families. Dr. Branch currently engages in professional and scholarly work focused on African American male experiences, mentoring, multicultural issues, and increasing the practice of self-care for helping professionals. If you've never heard Dr. Branch speak, you're in for a wonderful treat. It is my privilege to present Dr. Jason Branch.
What we're talking about today is protecting your peace, creating balance and managing your mental health and wellness. So for those of you who've never seen me before, never heard me speak before, I got to give you a couple disclaimers. Number one, I get excited. When I get excited, I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. I go from a 10 to a 12. Typically, I'm on a scale of 12 out of 1 to 10. So I get really excited because this is my profession. This is what I love. And I love talking about therapy, mental health, counseling, and us. Second thing is, if I step on your toes, I do not apologize. This presentation is going to shake some things up for you in a lot of different ways. I'm going to challenge, I'm going to push, challenge your beliefs, and really dive into this profession, what we're doing, where we at. So I want you to get at least 3 things from this presentation that you're going to keep with you, that you can use for your life. Also 3 things that you can share with someone else. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about what is therapy, what is not therapy, Black mental health and trauma, recharge and replenishing, self-care, and protecting your peace. So in the chat box, what have you heard about therapy? What do you know about therapy? What have you heard about therapy? So Monet, anything that pops up, feel free to give me the scoop.
Way of maintaining wellness, mind healing. It works. A chance to talk through things in your life and reach solutions. That it's helpful for us. An outlet. It's good for everyone. Tell me when to stop, Dr. Branch, because it's coming in.
Okay, I'll take it. That's cool. These
Okay.
are all great things. I love hearing the positive responses about therapy, which says a lot. We're changing and we're growing because it hasn't always been this way. But I love the comments. I love the responses. So those are the things that we heard about therapy. So we're going to talk a little bit about what therapy is not and what therapy is. And a lot of these things that I'm sure you've heard about. So typically when it comes to therapy, the words are interchangeable. Therapy and counseling, they're very interchangeable. We're going to just use therapy, but counseling, therapy is the same thing. So for many of us, though, what we know about therapy, what we know about counseling came from our upbringing, what we saw, what we've been exposed to, television, movies, radio, church, family, you name it. That's what we learn about it. So now you're going to get some more information about therapy from an expert, meaning someone who does this work. Also someone who goes to therapy himself. So I'm a therapist that go to therapy. I think every therapist should have a therapist. So let's talk about what it is not. What therapy is not is something only white people do. We got to eliminate that belief that only white people go to therapy. The truth is, a lot of different types of people go to therapy, but the idea or the belief is it's only for white people. Reality is it's for any person, anyone. What therapy is not trying to replace God. For some people, it's like, I'm going to go to Jesus, I'm going to go to God, I'm not going to go talk to a therapist. But God is in therapy. Last time I checked, God provided therapists on this earth for us to use. So it's not a replacement of God. You can use therapy in addition to God in your religion. Therapy is not someone just to listen to your problems. It's not a place where you can just share all your secrets, your darkest secrets, your deepest issues, fears, insecurities. It's not a place to just drop that and move on. Therapy provides you with a safe space to share your thoughts, your experiences with someone who's non-biased and non-judgmental to provide you assistance with helping you help yourself. So as a therapist, our job is to hold a mirror up so you can see things that you don't normally see. So when you think about therapy, I look at us as any client as an onion. All of us, we're like an onion. And I use a lot of analogies. So with this onion, you got the heart, which is the core. And all of us have a core of who we are, what we want to do. That's us being our authentic selves. The issue that we run into is there's a lot of layers on top of that core. Those layers come from lived experiences, upbringing, background, you name it. And anytime someone goes to therapy, they're looking at that most outer onion layer, that very top layer. And that's what's bothering me now. That could be relationship issues, marital, problems with my dad, problems with mom, problems with work. I'm in a transition. I'm in a pandemic. All of those are the outside things. Within therapy, you're able to peel back the layers to get to the heart or the core of the issue. A lot of times we don't know that. We just come in with an idea of, this is what's going on, but honestly, it's usually at the heart. And this is where a lot of people talk about therapy. Like, I came in talking about pizza. Next thing you know, I'm crying because my dad didn't give me pizza when I was a kid. I didn't know. I didn't connect the dots. And that's because we pull back the layers. So it's not just dumping your problems. Also, what therapy is not is a one size fits all, meaning one therapist can help any and everybody, or every therapist does the same thing in the same way. It's not the case at all. Therapy is not one size fits all because every therapist have a different personality, perspective, theoretical orientation, and the way they provide therapy. So it's finding a therapist that fits, that fits with who you are and the work that you need to get done. So some of us have tried therapy before, wasn't a good fit. We never went back. My challenge to you is finding a therapist that works for you. So if it's not one size fits all, I can't stick with the first therapist that I may work with if it doesn't work. Next piece. Therapy does not have to cost you a lot of money. Some people say, I'm not going to therapy because it costs too much. The reality is the cost varies. And a lot of you at your job, you get therapy for free by your EAP. EAP is employee assistance programs through insurance. So your insurance company provides therapy for you. But most of the time we don't know. So you're probably paying for therapy and never took advantage of the services offered. In addition, say for instance, you don't have insurance or you're not working on a job that offers EAP, there's tons of therapists all over the world, all over the US that you can work with that offer pro bono services. Absolutely free. I'm one of those therapists that have at least 3 slots on my caseload of therapy at a discounted rate or a free rate. It's part of my way of giving back. That's me. There's a lot of therapists that have that same mentality that will do it for free, but you don't know unless you ask. Even if it's not free, there's a lot of therapists that offer a discounted rate. A lot of this information we don't know because we don't ask and we go by what we do know, which may not be a lot when it comes to therapy because there may not be a lot of people talking about it. So it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Reach out, connect to therapists, and find out how they can meet you where you are financially. So for me, I never want finances to be an issue that somebody can't see me. I'm not the only therapist like this. So it's being able to reach out to connect with as many therapists as possible to find someone who will meet you. Next, therapy is not some white man or white woman telling you what to do or giving you advice. Number one, I'm a black man, so that dispels that myth. I'm a black male therapist, so therefore it's not just a white man or white woman. Part of that belief is Sigmund Freud. This is who we connect to counseling. This is who we connect to with therapy. It's that couch. And then we can go so far in the detail of this idea of what therapy is. You think about this brown leather couch and this white man with a beard and glasses and a blazer on telling me about my problems. That's a belief. That's an idea. It's not the reality, because at any counseling center, you don't have to lay on somebody's couch. You can sit on it. You can sit on the floor. You can sit on the table. You can stand up the whole time. You can do whatever you choose to do. But oftentimes we don't know that. We go by what we've heard or what we've seen. And that may not be the facts. Those are the beliefs. So there are many different types of therapists: black, white, Latino, LGBTQ, you name it. We're out here. But if you don't know about it, we don't exist. So I know I'm a unicorn. I'm a black male therapist with a PhD. I know how much of a unicorn I am. And for some of you who've never seen me before, you may not have known, oh my God, there's a black male therapist. I didn't know. So it's our job, our responsibility to start looking out. We're here, but We don't exist unless you're trying to find us. Next, therapy is not Googling information, diagnosing yourself. Some of y'all are WebMD PhDs. You go on WebMD, oh my God, I got depression. I need to stay in bed. I'm going to diagnose myself. That's not what therapy is. Stop Googling a diagnosis and see an expert. See a professional who can give you the facts behind a possible diagnosis. Googling information is not therapy. Go to therapy. See a therapist. Also, therapy is not a lifetime commitment. It's not the end all be all. It's not easy and it's uncomfortable. No one signs up for therapy expecting not to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not a lifetime commitment because if you're in therapy for the rest of your life, you're not working. You're not doing the work. Therapy is a temporary thing in order for you to get your needs met to find balance. When you find balance, you don't need a therapist. And when you lose balance, it's time to see a therapist again. So if you know somebody who's been in therapy since they were 12 and they're 85 now, that's a problem because you're not doing the work. A therapist's job is to help you help yourself, which is part of the reason why we don't give advice. Because if I tell you what to do, I'm always going to have to tell you what to do. That's not our role. That's not our place. But some people think that. I'm not going to go to therapy for somebody to tell me what to do. The reality is you are the expert of your own life. So how can I tell you what to do? My job is to help you help yourself by challenging beliefs, ideas, perspectives, giving you new information in order for you to make different choices. Last, therapy is not venting on social media, following therapists, especially those therapists of color, or asking for answers to your problems on social media. Some people are like, yeah, I follow such and such. He's a therapist. I got a therapist. No, you don't. You do not have a therapist. You have a social media personality who does therapy. So it's not just venting, talking about problems and just putting things on Facebook. That's not therapy. That's venting. That's sharing your frustration. It's important for you to find a clinician in order to help you start processing the things and not piecemealing a therapist together by WebMD, social media, or whoever you follow. Okay, so what is therapy? Therapy is a form of treatment. Again, therapy and counseling, same thing. Therapy is a form of treatment aimed at relieving emotional distress and mental health concerns. Therapy is provided by a variety of trained professionals, such as a psychiatrist, psychologist, licensed counselor, licensed social worker. So let me break down those four really quickly. Psychiatrist. This is a person with an MD. This person has a medical degree in psychiatry. Typically, they work with brain functioning. So this individual does provide some talk therapy, but mainly it's medication management. So this is someone who may be dealing with a severe mental illness that's seeing a psychiatrist. Psychologist is a PhD. Psychologist has earned a PhD. They may be licensed, they may not be. This person can provide diagnosis. Typically, they may not provide medications, but they offer talk therapy. Very similar to a licensed counselor. I'm a licensed professional counselor. And I also have a PhD in counselor education. Licensed counselors, they have a master's, they're licensed, they may be in private practice, they offer diagnosis, they do talk therapy. Last but not least, licensed social workers. These professionals also have a master's degree and a license, and they work from a social work perspective. They offer talk therapy. So when you think about licensed social workers, they're more a global perspective of what's going on with the person from head to toe, what's going on around them. Licensed professional counselor, what's going on in the mind and the head, what's going on around you. Psychologist, talk therapist, psychiatrist, medication management. So those are the four to break those down. Any of those can be considered as helping professionals and provide therapy for you. So look at those options. And there's plenty of people in each category that you can work with. Find who works best for you. Therapy also involves gaining insight into life choices and difficulties faced by individual couples or families. So the key word I want to look at is life choices. All of us make life choices, and we're exactly where we are in life right now based off of our life choices. Some of us has made healthy choices, some of us unhealthy choices. It's not about good or bad. It's what's healthy and what's unhealthy. Therapy encourages you to step outside your comfort zone, challenge your beliefs and behaviors, and assist you with creating and maintaining healthy balance in your life. That's what it's about, balance. Sometimes we get so caught up in, I don't want to go to therapy because of all these different reasons. The reality is you just want to find balance, which means anyone can benefit from therapy. Anybody. The difference with therapy in the gym, think about the gym, going to the gym, working out muscles and getting healthy. That's physical health. Mental health is going to a therapist to work out muscles in your mind. What's going on with me? So if I can be so open and honest to physical health, I have to be willing to do the same thing for my mental health. Why therapy? So why therapy? And this is specific for Black people, Black mental health, trauma, right? To me, if you are a person of color in America, you've experienced trauma. We're going to break it down. What is trauma? It's the response to a deeply distressed or disturbing event that overwhelms an individual's ability to cope, causes feelings of helplessness, diminish their sense of self, and their ability to feel a full range of emotions and experiences. What are some examples of trauma that you've seen, heard, or experienced within the Black community? Put in the chat box. Let's see what you.
Okay, so we have some responses. We have domestic violence, PTSD, police brutality, rape, racism, work, trauma, assaults, discrimination. Someone said whoopings, generational trauma, racism, race-based traumatic stress.
All of us, if you're a person of color, experience some level of trauma from birth to 17 to 18 years of age. Simply from our parents, things that happen from our parents being unhealthy or not experiencing therapy or having their own trauma that they bring onto us. And for a lot of us, we've dealt with it and just had to deal with it. We never healed from it, but we dealt with it. In addition, if you're a person of color, say for instance, my childhood was pretty great. I didn't have any issues. The social injustices has an effect on us, and that's currently and from the past. The difference from the current and the past is we're seeing it now, but it's been going on since we've been on this earth, since we've been in the United States. So if you are a person of color in America, you experience trauma. Just living is traumatic. Just being present is traumatic. Think about the impact of violence on mental health. We've been seeing it for years. We've been seeing it more and more now with social media and video. Imagine the impact of it. Feeling overwhelmed and physically and emotionally exhausted. This is not just related to police brutality, but this could be our lives, 17, 18 years of life, onto adulthood. So imagine the videos that you may watch and the things that's going on in the media and people of color being mistreated and microaggressions and racism. This affects us. This is traumatic. So it causes anger, pain, frustration, helplessness, hopelessness, increases anxiety, paranoia, depression, and stress. And we find ways to cope. How do we cope? Drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, you name it. Whatever I need to do to feel better about me or to feel better about what's going on in my society. Seeing people killing unarmed Black men and getting off. No time, no jail sentence, no nothing. That hurts. That's trauma. So we're constantly dealing with trauma every single day. You turn on the news, it's trauma. Because that could be your son, your brother, your dad, your family, a friend. It could be you. That's trauma. Having disturbing images and videos intrude your thoughts, dreams, and reality. We see this stuff so much, some of us become desensitized, some of us become triggered. Every time I see it, I go back to racism, slavery, my home, my abuse. I go to these things. So this is another example of why we all could benefit from therapy, to work through these traumatic experiences that we've seen, we've experienced, or we're living through. And many of us, if you're a person of color, you're living through trauma. So why therapy? Why therapy? I just gave you a few reasons. Let's give you a little bit more. Especially for us as people of color, Black people specifically, our belief system. Imagine the stories that you continue to tell yourself. Imagine the stories that you heard growing up from your parents. And this is the reality. Now, I want you to test it. And a lot of things that I'm going to share with you, I want you to test it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Test it. But I'm willing to promise, I'm willing to guarantee that you can see this for yourself, that we're going to be exactly like our parents, the complete opposite, or somewhere in the middle. What other choice do you have? So for 17, 18 years of life, whatever your parents gave you are the facts. It's the truth, even if it's not. Many of us didn't realize how flawed and human our parents were until we left the house. We didn't know they were human until we found out they lied. Yes, your parents had lied to you. Some of y'all found out earlier than later. Some of y'all still worried or thinking about, is that really my daddy? Ooh, all facts, all day. So think about the stories you continue to tell yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not great enough. I can't do. I can't have. Nobody's ever done it. I've never seen anybody do it. Those are the stories that keep you in that place of insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. How many of you are saying insane? Many of us, if not all of us. Because we say one thing and we do something different. That's inconsistent, incongruent, and inauthentic. To me, being balanced or gaining balance is being your authentic self, which means speaking what you feel, what you think, what you hear, and living the same way. Your behavior aligns with your beliefs. That's authenticity. Many of us, our behaviors don't align with our beliefs, which means we keep doing things we don't want to do, expecting other people to treat us in a different way. Think about your belief system. Second is learn behaviors. I can only repeat what I know. Domestic violence, sexual assault, sexual abuse, rape, those things that y'all mentioned, the trauma, it's a learned behavior. I learned how to do this, or it happened to me, so I'm doing it to somebody else. Think about relationship dynamics between men and women, fathers and sons, mothers and daughters. It's a reason behind the things that we do. I don't trust men because my mama didn't trust men. My grandmother didn't trust men. I don't trust any of these relationships. I don't trust other races because of what I dealt with in my race. It's a learned behavior, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Christian, or Jewish. It's a learned behavior. And some of these behaviors no longer work for us, but we keep doing them. Again, if I step on your toes, I do not apologize. Living through trauma, just what we talked about. Every day, all day. If you're a person of color in America, you're living through trauma. Think about issues that you've had at work. People wanting to touch your hair or ask questions about you. That's trauma. How come I can't just be? Or for Black men, if I put some nice clothes on, put a suit on, I'm going to court or church. Why can't I just look nice? That's trauma. So trauma is repeating what I experienced. Every day, we're repeating what we experienced. Getting pulled over by the cops, period, is trauma for people of color. Because I'm going back to flashbacks. I could lose my life. That's traumatic. Next is remaining comfortable. For many of us, we're not willing to step outside of our comfort zone, which means we do the same thing over and over and over again. Again, I mentioned that before about insanity. The more you remain uncomfortable, the more you get stuck. In order to get unstuck, you have to step outside your comfort zone. Do something different, new. So your challenge, your homework. Oh yeah, there's homework. This week, what I need you to do is to do something new, different, and uncomfortable every day this week. I don't care what it is. Try it. See what happens. You did something uncomfortable by coming on this call today to join us with this presentation. Congratulations. You're able to get some knowledge that the average person will not get, because I know they're not getting it from me. So you're going to get information that the average person don't have. Now you can use this information to do things different in your life. That's game. Welcome to the club, baby. Next, heal and deal. A lot of us have experienced all these traumatic experiences, all these things that's happened, and we dealt with it. We're resilient as a culture. We can do. We're resilient because of everything we've been through, and we overcame it. That doesn't mean we're not dealing with it. The reality is you have to heal from the things that you've experienced to overcome it. We don't heal, we just deal. I'm challenging you. You don't have to deal with it anymore. You can heal from it. Therapy is one of the places you can go to start healing from what you dealt with. Let's dive in. Let's switch gears. So we're dealing with this trauma. We're talking about therapy. We're making these changes. Let's dive into our belief system, which is part of the reason that we do what we do. My belief is that in order for us to change behaviors, we have to change our beliefs, which is hard. The difference between 2 + 2 = 5 and 2 + 2 = 4 is one is a belief, one is a fact. 2 + 2 is 4 is a fact because it can be proven. 2 + 2 is 5, which is a belief. Understand that all of us are entitled to our beliefs. That doesn't make them right or wrong, but we're entitled to them. The difference is healthy and unhealthy. So many of us hold on to these beliefs for so long, they become facts to us. So let's break down the beliefs and the facts. So 2 + 2 = 5, even though y'all almost cussed me out, cut my head off. It's wrong, it's this, it's that, who taught you? Y'all clown me for my beliefs. Imagine where these beliefs come from. A lot of us have beliefs that have no value, no meaning besides the value and meaning that you give it. Let me break it down a bit and understand anytime your beliefs are challenged, your first response is to defend them. So I'm going to talk about some things that's going to challenge your belief. And the first thing you're going to do is defend it. Let me show you. 2 + 2 = 5. Is there anyone in here besides myself that has a cabinet, a drawer, a closet somewhere in the kitchen that has a bag full of little plastic bags? You know those little Walmart bags, you go to the grocery shop, you just keep putting those bags in there. Anybody got that? Yes, amen, yes, LOL, all that. So I'm not by myself. So therefore, that is a belief. What's the belief about those bags? I need them. I gotta use it for my little trash can. I gotta use it to pick up dog stuff. I gotta use it to season my chicken, put flour on it. Whatever it is, you're using these bags. What's the value of these bags? Nothing. They're free. But what if I asked you to get rid of all those bags? It will be World War III. If it's not you, maybe it's your mom and your grandmama. You're not going to get rid of those bags. Now understand, if we all can agree that those bags have no value, but you place value on them, meaning I'm not getting rid of them, imagine the other things that's going on in your life that has no value that you still hold on to. Those are your beliefs. You're entitled to them, but do they work for you? Probably not. My challenge for you, get rid of some of those bags. Homework number 2. You got 100 of them, get rid of 90. You'll be okay with 10. So understand the boxing gloves that's going on right now. A lot of you in the chat box, I'm not getting rid of them. I can't do it. That's you holding on to a belief and you're refusing to let it go. So imagine the other crap that I hold on to that has no value that I still hold on to. Meaning my father, my parents did A, B, and C. You're an adult. You 30, you 40, still blaming mom and dad. That's the belief. How can you still blame them for the life that you have now? Now, let's break it down, though. Let's break it down. Y'all feel attacked. I told you if I step on your toes, I do not apologize. Let's dig deeper. Let's dig deeper into this belief system. You have beliefs about counseling, which is why you've never gone. If it's not you, it's mom, it's dad, it's grandparents. It's these beliefs about what therapy is. Now, you just got facts about what therapy is and what therapy is not. But you are in a different group because you decided to come here. My challenge to you is in order for us to change our beliefs, we have to be willing to step outside of our comfort zone. One challenge, again, throw away some of those bags, clean out that junk drawer, do something different. And those are 2 things that's tangible, that's light. But imagine the other things that we've held on to that no longer has value and meaning. Think about your beliefs related to race, racism, microaggressions, politics, Democrat, Republican, safe sex, unsafe sex, premarital sex, children out of wedlock, when to get married, when not to get married, when to get divorced. All of these are beliefs because there are no facts. But we don't challenge them. We never challenge our beliefs until you're faced with these conversations now. So quick story. And this is to challenge these beliefs. There was a married couple long time ago, right? This married couple, every Thanksgiving, they will host this Christmas celebration, Christmas dinner, right? And every year they do this Christmas celebration. The wife will cut a quarter of this ham off before she put it in the oven. She cut the quarter of the ham off before she put it in the oven. And the husband asked, "Why do you do that?" And the wife said, "I don't know. I do it because my mama did it." And the husband like, let's call mama. Let's find out why did she cut the quarter of this ham off. So they called mama. "Hey, mom, just wondering why you cut the ham off before you put it in the oven." And the mom said, I don't really know. I did it because my mama did it. So the husband like, "Let's call grandma." So they called grandma. "Hey, grandma, we're trying to figure out why you cut a quarter of this ham off before you put it in the oven." And the grandmother said, "I cut a quarter of this ham off because my pan was too short. I don't know why the hell y'all doing it." I need you to dig deeper to the root of why we do the things we do. A lot of times we hold on to these bags and keep these junk drawers just in case. Just in case. The reality is you'll never run out of bags because you go into the grocery store at least 2 or 3 times a week or a month. You're never going to run out, but the belief is I don't have enough. I'm going to run out, but there's an abundance of everything when it comes to this life. We just don't believe it. That's our beliefs. You can have anything that you want in this life if you're willing to do what's necessary to deal with you to make changes. All facts, all day. So in order for us to begin the process of changing our belief system, we have to understand the root of the belief system, okay? So the next slide, this is what I want you to write down is number one, belief. Understand that your beliefs is what they are. Those are facts to you. Okay. Your belief over time develops into a behavior. Okay. Belief determines behavior. My behavior over time develops into a habit. I don't even think about it. I just do it. So therefore, every morning I'm getting coffee. I'm going to Starbucks. I'm late for work because I'm stopping to get coffee because that's my habit. Belief determines behavior. Behavior over time develops into a habit. A habit I don't even think about. It's an automatic thing, right? Habits over time develops into a lifestyle. No one would ever say this publicly, but a coffee drinker needs coffee in order to live. That's what makes it a lifestyle. So my lifestyle are things that I do because my belief is I need to do this in order to live. But that's a lifestyle of a coffee drinker. The belief, behavior, habit, lifestyle. Understand what anything in life, the reason that we do it is because of our beliefs. Your parents did the best they could with what they have. These are the facts. Your parents did the best they could with what they had. But some of us still blaming our parents. The relationships that you've been in, the people that you were connected with, dating with, they did the best they could with what they had. It wasn't enough, but you expected them to be someone they're not. Your expectations is the invisible bridge that leads to nowhere. Oh my God. Your expectations for other people is the invisible bridge that leads to nowhere. Imagine how many expectations you have for everybody else but yourself. How do you expect people to do all types of different things that you're not willing to do yourself based off of your beliefs? So your challenge is, how do I start doing things differently? You have the ability to change based off of what you do. In addition, write this down. We must accept people for who they are and who they are not. This next portion, second half, we're diving into self-care. A lot of us, especially people of color, are drained from being everything to everyone. You have nothing left. Your battery is dead. In order to recharge a battery, in order to take care of you and start investing in yourself, you have to practice self-care. When I think about self-care, I want you to think about your bank account. And your bank account is now your self-care account. So whatever investments you make into taking care of yourself, that's you making deposits into your self-care account. The issue that I've had with a lot of us is we recharge on the weekends or on vacation. So I live life and I give everything to everyone else, and then I take care of me on the weekend or vacation. The reality is it's unbalanced. My challenge to you all is to start finding ways to take care of yourself every day. Practice self-care every single day, not on the weekend, not on vacation. And I want to give you a system that works. This system for self-care is called the ESPM model for self-care. This is a model I developed about a decade ago. I use it every day and I want to share it with you, and I want you to share it with others. Take it, use it, and share it with other people. All right. ESPM. Again, go back to your notebook. You got belief model. You got some challenges. You got some homework. Next page, I want you to draw a huge circle. Line straight down the middle, line straight across. It should look like a pie chart with 4 sections. In the top left-hand side, you're going to write the letter E. Top right, the letter S. Bottom left, the letter P. The bottom right, letter M. ESPM. Now, when it comes to us taking care of ourselves from head to toe, there's only 4 sections, 4 categories necessary and needed to take care of ourselves. So when you think about wellness, I want you to think about all 4 of these. E represents emotional well-being. S is spiritual. P is physical. M is mental. So a lot of things y'all mentioned in the chat box: massage, reading a book, doing different activities, taking care of the grandkids. All of those activities will fit in one of these categories. What makes this self-care plan difficult is because one activity can only occupy one space at a time. So if you said reading a book enhances, it makes me feel good, it only is going to fit in one box. So that may be emotional well-being or spiritual well-being. So E represents emotional well-being. This is things that brings joy to my heart daily. So ask yourself, what is it that I do to enhance my emotional well-being daily? This is a chance to check your self-care account. So out of that ESPM, E, emotional. What do you do to enhance your emotional well-being? That E represents 1/4 of the quadrant. All 4 is 100%, but it's 25% per quadrant. So what do you do currently to enhance your emotional well-being? I would love to hear it. Put it in the chat box. Now, to challenge to see where you are as far as taking care of your emotional well-being, I want you to think about the things that you do and add up the things that you do. So you can write it in the box. You can scribble it in, shade it in, whatever works for you for your emotional well-being. Now, out of the things that you wrote down or that you think about that you do, there is a percentage of that. Each quadrant is only 25%. I want you to put in your percentage of how much you take care of your emotional well-being. So, for example, if I, come to this presentation and I go to the park, that enhances my emotional well-being. That's all I did for the week. So per day, I may not do a lot of things per day. So that may be less than 20%, maybe 5%. So I want you to write down how much you take care of your emotional well-being. Right now, I'm going to say 5% for some of you. Spiritual. Understand spiritual well-being. What do you do currently to enhance your spiritual well-being? Some people say prayer, meditation. That's fine. That's great. Whatever you do, put that information down, put your percentage. Give or take, I'm going to give you 10%. Some of us doing 10, some of us doing less. Next is P. P is physical. What do you do to enhance your physical well-being every day? Put in your percentage on what you do. Maybe 10%, maybe 15%. Some of y'all up to 25%, even with COVID. All right. M, mental well-being. What do you do to enhance your mental well-being? Some of y'all got nothing, and that's okay. That's why you're here. So if you have nothing, you got to put a 0%. So I want you to go through each one, emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental, and look at your percentage and add up your percentage for each quadrant of what you do currently to enhance your self-care, enhance your well-being. So right now, based off of the estimate that I put down, what I think you may be dealing with, I got 5% for emotional, 10% for spiritual, 5% for physical, and 10% for mental. If I added all of them up right now, I'm at about 30% in my self-care account. Many of you are less than 30%. If you did this exercise correctly, you and I can agree you don't take care of yourself that well. You can do better. And if you're anything under 75%, you got work to do. Because imagine right now, I'm at 30% and 30% represents us. Okay. Some of you are lower, some of you are higher, but I'm pretty sure most of us are not at 75 to 80 because again, we're giving of ourselves so much every day. So we all can do better. So I want you to think about that 30% now as $30 in your self-care account. How long will $30 last you in a week? It's not enough. So our job is to make sure we are taking care of our entire self, not just 30%, which means I'm asking you to take care of yourself. That's it. That's it. Now, you're going to have some resistance. Again, your beliefs are being challenged. The resistance is, I can't because I don't want to feel guilty or selfish or shame. I need you to get over yourself and out of your own way. I'm not asking you to do anything but take care of you because we can agree that you're not doing enough. You're not taking care of yourself enough. This is how we can get started with this. So let me break it down. Let me help you out a bit of how we can start doing this. When you think about E, your emotional well-being, understand that anything that you do for your self-care can only fit in one category at a time. When it comes to your emotional well-being, I want you to think about what brings joy to my heart. What brings joy to my heart? These are things that I'm now intentionally doing to pour into my emotional well-being for today. So for me, what brings joy to my heart is laughter. Y'all can tell I love cracking jokes. I love laughter. I love fun. I do it intentionally. I laugh at myself every day. I find a way to laugh at me because that brings joy to my heart. So your homework, again, is to add 2 to 3 new things for each category. Just create them. What can I start doing more of for my emotional well-being? All right. So think about things that bring joy to your heart that you're going to do intentionally to take care of your emotional well-being. That's just a quarter. Guess what? That whole arm is done. That's 25%. I'm good, but it's not enough because we got 4 sections. So then we move over to spiritual. Every morning I'm listening to music. I don't care if it's gospel, R&B, or trap. I'm blasting music before I get in the shower or when I'm in the shower. That enhances my spiritual well-being. Also, meditation. Some people say meditation. You say meditation because it sounds good, but you've never tried it. You've never done it, and you're terrified of it. Stop saying meditation. You don't do it. So find something else that uplifts your spirits. For me, it's music. It may not be meditation. It could be, television shows, different things that you do. Saying no. Hear me. Saying the word no. Because we say yes to everything but ourselves. So try practicing saying no. Last time I checked, no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain it. But anytime we say no, we have to explain the reason why we say no. Stop explaining yourself. Say no, and that's it. That enhances our spiritual well-being, because I feel good when I say no. Have no problem with it. I'm great at it. No. Moving on, we took care of emotional, we took care of spiritual. That's just halfway. Many of us do the emotional and spiritual. We do half and we feel as though, oh, I'm good, I can kick back. The reality is you can't. You just took a shower and just washed upper body. It's not enough. I need you to do more. Physical. When you think about your physical well-being, I want you to think about the body. So physical health. Think about, how do I enhance my physical well-being? That's making physical choices, healthy choices. Physical is not going out and getting a gym membership. It's walking, getting out the house and walking around your neighborhood. Got to think about it. Next, last but not least, is mental. What are you doing to enhance your mental well-being? To me, one of the easiest ways to enhance your mental well-being is doing things new, different, and uncomfortable every single day. Every day, I try to find a way to do something new, different, and uncomfortable. So how do I do that? Simple. Try brushing your teeth with the opposite hand. Try putting your pants leg on a different leg at a time. Instead of having your hair down, put your hair up. Instead of drying off with a towel, put your clothes on wet. Just do something different, no matter what it is. So my challenge to you is to find ways to do something different every single day. Understand, once the mind expands, it never goes back to its original form. Now that you've been exposed to this ESPN model for self-care, you will never be the same. You will never look at self-care the same anymore. You will see how much work you got to do. So for some of you who knew you were below 30%, you're not doing enough. So in order to do this self-care plan, you have to take care of yourself between 75 and 80%. 20% goes to everybody else. That's balance. Right now, 20% goes to you and 80 goes to everybody else. It's not enough. It's not enough. I'm begging you to start taking better care of yourself. I'm begging you to say no. I'm begging you to establish some healthy boundaries. The beauty of this model, the more you pour in, the more you invest in you, the more you get back in return. So if I invest in me today, I took care of my self-care today, guess what? I got some residual tomorrow. Your bank account on Fleek, if you fill it up for the day, you're good. I got about $1,000 in my account right now. Why? Because every activity that you do for your emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental is now a dollar amount. Our job is to build that self-care account. So now we recharge and restore. What do we do? How long does it last? The truth is, next slide, it only lasts for 24 hours. One day. That's it. One day. So therefore, I'm asking you to take care of yourself every day. Not every other day, not on the weekends, not on vacation. Every single day. And imagine what happens when you invest in you. I'm rich. The more you take care of yourself, the more stuff that you can deal with from everybody else, because you're inundated with information. You're inundated with stuff, with garbage, with trash, with trauma. You're inundated with it. So it's our job to remove some of that stuff and start building into us, taking care of us. The more I invest in me, the more I can deal with. So therefore, every day I'm making withdrawals. Life is withdrawals. Every single day I wake up, I'm responsible. I got to feed the kid. I got to feed me. What I'm going to wear. What about school? What about my mask? Oh my God, I forgot my mask. Somebody go get my mask. These are withdrawals. So the more I withdrawals, the less money I have in my account. And some of us have a zero balance and still spending. How are you still taking care of other people if you haven't taken care of yourself yet? How, Sway? How? So understand. You got the self-care model, you got the self-care plan. I need you to start implementing. I need you to start integrating this into your life. So how do we protect our peace? Number one, be willing to step outside your comfort zone. Do something different today. Number two, take a break from news and social media outlets. Take a break from your family. Take a break from your spouse, your mate, your kids. Take a break. You are overdue. How do we know? Look at you. Ooh, I told you. Moving on, I need you to block, delete, unfollow, unfriend certain people. They don't bring anything to your life. They are a cancer. They are a leech. They are sucking the life out of you, and you allow them to stay, just like you allow those bags to stay underneath your cabinet. Next, find your tribe and connect. Find people who's going to support you, who's going to invest in you, who's going to help you become the best version of you. If you don't have those people in your circle, you need to get rid of them. I guarantee you, if you hang around 9 dummies, you're going to be the 10th. It's your job to be mindful of your tribe. Reach out and connect. Next, set healthy boundaries and stick to them. Practice saying no. Daily, every day, find a way to say no. Next piece, be mindful of what you can and you cannot control. A lot of us are tied to things that we cannot control, but we try to control it. Stop trying to control things that's out of your control. Other people. There's only one person in this life that you can control or change. Guess who that is? You. All day, every day. Next thing, when you are ready, only when you are ready, I need you to have some difficult conversations. Only when you're ready. Next, stop. Oh, this is big. Stop apologizing for being exactly who you are. It's not your fault. You are you. I can't help that you intimidated by me by being a black man. I can't help it. I can't do nothing about it. Don't matter what I dress. Don't matter what I say. Don't matter what I do. Don't matter who I am. If you view me a certain way, I can't control or change that. So therefore, I'm not going to apologize for being authentically black. I can't. I wish I could, but I can't because it's me. Last thing, you are not a tree, which means you can get up and leave. That's relationships, that's family members, that's jobs, that's school, that's work, that's people, that's wherever you have that no longer serves you. Leave, get up, get out, and go. You're not a tree, but you believe you are. Again, that's a belief. There's no facts behind it. The fact is you can go. You got 2 feet, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means you need to listen twice as much as you talk, which means you need to get up and get out. If it's not working, it's time to go. Stop blaming everybody else for your stuff. Protecting your peace, continue. Practice more self-care. Y'all got a system. Use this system for you, right? You cannot pour from an empty cup. Stop trying. Take care of you before you take care of everybody else. Increase your self-awareness and self-discovery. You need to start learning more about yourself. You need to get a PhD in you, who you are. The more you know about yourself, the more you can see the BS that's around you. A lot of people don't know themselves, which is why they keep hurting people like us. Hurt people, hurt people. I'm hurt because I never dealt with the pain, the trauma. So now I'm hurting other people. That's your boss, that's your colleagues, that's your family, that's your friends. Hurt people, hurt people. Next piece, balance and build healthy relationships. So many of us have unhealthy relationships that we hold on to. We hold on to because that's my brother, that's my sister. We cannot choose our family, but we can choose how we deal with them. All facts, all day. Make it right. For those who've done some things wrong, we all have. Make it right. Ask for forgiveness. Be willing to forgive. Next, accept people for who they are and not who you want them to be. This is one of the most pivotal things that changed my life. I accept people for who they are, not who I want them to be. And all of us have expectations, which are invisible bridges that lead to nowhere, to get people to do what we want them to do. I can't control or change you or anybody else. We are all doing the best we can with what we have. That's it. Last but not least, be willing to ask, seek professional help. You've done this whole 90-minute presentation, getting all this knowledge, all this information. Feels good. We laugh, we play. Now do the work. Get up and get out and take care of you. Find a therapist. Nobody's immune. Nobody's excused. If you're a person of color, you're experiencing trauma. Get help. Stop waiting. Stop looking at other people. Start taking care of yourself. Share this information. Share the facts that you learned today, not the beliefs. Share the facts that you learned about therapy to help other people consider therapy. My goal, my hashtag for the year, for the century is try therapy. Hashtag try therapy. Guarantee your life can be changed for the better. Some resources. One of the easiest, quickest ways, Psychology Today. Log on to Psychology Today, enter your zip code, and you can find a therapist throughout your area. Scroll through, see who you may fit with. You get all their information. Find somebody who fits for you. Therapy for Black girls, therapy for Black men, Black female therapists, Black men heal. Check it out. Look into it. And if you feel as though those options are cool, but I still want to stay safe because of COVID, you can try telehealth counseling services. Talkspace is a great telehealth counseling services that has licensed counselors, licensed psychologists who provide online therapy, synchronously and asynchronous. Same thing with BetterHelp. Same thing with Ayana. With Ayana, this is specifically designed for people of color. Online therapy, it's out there, it exists. Reach out to me. If you got questions about therapy, I'm your guy. I don't mind sharing the knowledge that I have because my job is to help you help yourself. Ask away, reach out, connect with me. You all have been great. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, Monet, Terrell. Thank y'all for inviting me to do this presentation. Much love to all of you. If you haven't heard it in a while, if you haven't heard it at all, I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. Much love, much respect. Thank you.